In this video, I'll show you how to pair a new key fob to your Jeep using this simple key kit. Today we'll just be going over the Jeep models for this particular kit, and you can see the compatibility over on the back. So this is going to apply to the Commander from 08 to 10 and the Grand Cherokee from 09 to 10. If you're looking for a different Jeep, go check out our other videos on our channel. I will also cover in another video these Chrysler, Dodge, and Volkswagen models listed on the back. Basically, there are a variety of simple keys that work with different makes, models, and years, and we should have you covered with a video. So if you're looking for something different, just go ahead and check out our catalog there. And now we can get right into it. This is an easy process you can do yourself at home, and will save you a ton of money compared to doing it at the dealership. Let me show you what we have inside. We have the user guide, a new key fob, the easy installer, which plugs into the vehicle. It has the dial right there, and we have a replacement button pad. So you will need to have your current working key, the one that's paired to your vehicle. This is just an example, but you will need to have a key that works with your vehicle to get this process done. The physical key blade that comes inside, you can cut this at your own convenience. You don't need to do it before pairing the key to your vehicle, but you should get that done at some point for the valet key, the emergency key in there. And then one thing to note is that if you have a push to start vehicle, this process will not work. These do not work with the push to start models. So you'll need to find a different solution. And one last thing before getting started, you'll want to check out the easy installer and look and make sure that the seal here is not damaged or missing and that it does not say void. If this has been removed and this has been used on another vehicle, it will not work with your vehicle. So if this security seal is broken or missing, you'll want to just return this at the retailer where you got it and get yourself a new one. Now we have an optional step. There are two key, button pads here that you can use. You can see this one has the side door open buttons. If the old key fob that you're using has these buttons and they work and you want to continue to use them, you will want to keep this 7-button configuration. And if you do not have this, you should probably, it's just a personal preference, but you can change to this, because regardless of if you have these buttons, it will not work if your original key does not have those functions. So you cannot add functions to your key fob in this process. So you may as well have the button pad that represents the functions on your key. So if you wanted to change that, first remove the valet key. You can now find, well, just look for it's kind of hard to see there, but the hole that the key came out of, just insert the key in and twist. Now that it's kind of opened up, you can just pull it apart, set this to the side. There's a rubber part that the circuit board is inside of, so just gently pull that out. Gently remove the circuit board. Just pick that up and set that into the new button pad. Actually, just going to keep this in there, but you'll set that into the button pad gently, place it back in, so the back of the key fob, or the front of the key fob actually, and just set this right on top. Snap it back together, and you can put the key back in there as well, and now you have a different layout, different button pad, and we can move on to the next step. Okay, now the first step is to enter the activation code into our new key. It's just a 3-digit code that we'll punch in using these 3 buttons, and all of the models for the Jeeps that we'll be working with today use the code 312. So first step, press lock and panic simultaneously. You can see this blue light has come on. That means it's ready to receive the code. I will enter in the first digit with lock, the second digit with panic, and the third with unlock. So for 312, it would look like this. 3 presses of lock, 1 press of panic, 2 of unlock. And now I'll press lock and panic once again to enter in the code, and this light should blink back our activation code. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. You can see that looks good to me. If you enter it in incorrectly, it will look like this. Just constant blinking. If that happens, you can continue trying to enter in your activation code. Nothing wrong with that. Keep trying until you get it right. If you have a Jeep Commander from 2008 to 2010 and you're entering in 312 and you're doing everything correctly and it just doesn't seem to work, try with the alternate code of 311 and that should work for you. So let me just show you once more. 312, lock and panic, light comes on, and now 3 on lock, 1 on panic, 2 on unlock, and then I'll press lock and panic again. 1, 2, 3, pause, 1, pause, 1, 2. There we go. Once your activation code is locked in, you want to take your Easy Installer, your new key, your old key, the one that currently works with your vehicle, and the user guide, and go ahead and hop in your vehicle. The first thing we want to do is locate the OBD port. You can see on screen now what the OBD port looks like. It's usually under the dash around the level of the pedals. So check out down there and see if you can find it. If not, check out your owner's manual of your vehicle, and that information should be in there. Now that you've located that, you can get in the car, close all of the doors, make sure the vehicle is off and that there's no key in the ignition. Put it in park and turn on your hazard lights. We can now make sure that the dial position of our Easy Installer is on 3. All of these models use the same dial position, so if it's on a different dial position, just find the arrow, set it to 3. Now take your current key, the one that works with your vehicle, insert it into the ignition and start the engine. Take your Easy Installer. You can now remove this security seal and firmly plug this into the OBD port. Once that's plugged in, we'll have about 5 minutes to get this process done before the computer times out, and that's no big deal. You'll just need to start the pairing process again. So once that's plugged in, just work at a steady but quick pace. The whole thing will just take you a minute, but just keep that in mind so you don't walk away during the process and have to start over again. As soon as you plug this in, within 8 seconds, you should hear 3 quick beeps, which sounds like this. Once you've heard that, that means that your vehicle is recognizing that we're starting the pairing process, and you can go ahead and turn off your vehicle and remove the new key. If you hear anything other than those 3 beeps that I just played for you, skip ahead to the end of the video where I will go over the common errors that you can run into. But if you heard the 3 beeps, turn it off, turn off your vehicle, remove the old key, and you can now take your new key, put it into the ignition, and turn your car to the on or run position. Do not start the engine. This is the position just before starting the engine. With your new key in the ignition, you can now look on the top of the Easy Installer. See there's a button right there. Just press that once. Wait up to 8 seconds, and you should hear the same 3 beeps again, which sounds like this. If you've heard that, you are almost done. Just turn off the vehicle, remove the new key, and press the button once more. And you should hear a chime sound, which sounds like this. Once you hear that chime, that means you have completed the process and your new key is paired to your vehicle. So you want to test both keys. The old key and the new key should continue to work with your car. You can actually continue this process to pair a total of 8 keys to your vehicle. So if you had another new key that you wanted to program, you would just activate that key using the steps that I showed you, and then start the pairing process over from 0 and you can keep going up to a maximum of 8 keys. And just make sure you unplug the Easy Installer from the OBD port when you finish. Now I'll go over some of those errors that I mentioned in your user guide. Over here on page 7, you can see the frequently asked questions. Everything that I mentioned will be laid out in there for you. And you can also see on page 9, there is their customer service number, their technical support number. If the Easy Installer beeps 8 times after pushing the button to initiate the pairing process, this means that the maximum of 8 keys have already been paired to your vehicle, and you will not be able to pair another new key. So you'll have to give them a call over at this number, and they will tell you where to go from there. Here they are asking if you can use the same Easy Installer on other vehicles, and the answer is no. Once you plug this in and you use it, it will be paired to your vehicle and it will not work with others. This is why it's really important that the seal is intact, because if not, maybe it's used and it's been used on a different vehicle, and you'll potentially hear a beeping error that I'm about to mention, or it just won't work. Here it's asking, can I use the same Easy Installer on other vehicles? The answer is no. Once an Easy Installer is used on a vehicle, it is paired to that vehicle and it won't work on anyone else's vehicle. Now, there are 2 errors here. If the Easy Installer is beeping 2 or 3 beeps at 1 second intervals 3 times, and then it beeps continuously, this can mean either, if it's 2 beeps, that means that the Easy Installer has already been used on a different vehicle. It won't work because it's paired with another vehicle. So you'll hear 2 beeps, pause, 2 beeps, pause, 2 beeps, pause, and then continuous beeping. That means that it has already been paired. If you hear the same thing but with 3 beeps, that means that your vehicle or the Easy Installer is not detecting your original working key. You need to make sure that the key that's currently paired to your vehicle is close by. And so just go ahead and grab that and make sure that it's in the vehicle with you during the pairing process, and you shouldn't have that problem anymore. If the new key won't pair to your car, usually the issue is an incorrect dial position. As I mentioned, all of the vehicles use a dial position of 3, so just make sure that it is set to 3 and give it another try, and that should fix any pairing issues there. If during the pairing process the Easy Installer is unplugged, that won't cause any serious issue. You'll just need to start over from 0. So you'll need to turn off the vehicle, remove the keys, close all the doors, put it in park, just reset to 0 and start the pairing process again. Make sure the dial position is on 3, turn on the vehicle, plug this in, and just continue as I showed you. And it doesn't cause any kind of complication. You'll just need to start over. Here it says that the vehicle won't start with the new or old key after attempting to pair. They don't actually give a solution here, but they tell you to call them at that customer support number. So that's everything that you could run into, but you shouldn't have any issues. It's actually a really easy process. It's a great product. I hope you found this video helpful and easy to follow, and I hope you saved a ton of money pairing yourself a new key with one of these kits instead of doing it at the dealership. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.